Hey, this is Jeff with The Building Boys. By trade, I'm a chiropractor, and I own other real estate ventures such as extended stay suites and long-term rentals. One day a week, I grow my passive income portfolio. In these videos, I will be working alongside my father building our next passive income stream, a senior citizen fourplex. Watch our videos and repeat the process for yourself so you can become financially free.
Hey everybody, I'm just taking a quick little lunch break from the clinic. It's going to be raining probably all day tomorrow, Wednesday, when we're going to be putting in a full day. So we might not get a full day in tomorrow. So here during lunch, I wanted to lay out this main wall. This is the only 2x6 interior wall we have in the duplex. It is a non-weight bearing wall. The reason we have a 2x6 is because this is where all of our plumbing for the whole apartment is in. Except for the toilet, shower. Okay, so we wanted a 2x6 wall basically so we could hold all these pipes. So when I found out the edge of this 2x6 goes this way, measured 141 1/4 over from the wall, I then snapped a line all the way down where it's also 141 1/4 right here. This way, I could then measure from this line to the center of all these pipes. So I know exactly where to drill my holes. Okay, so I'm gonna put this board down now. Get it tied up against the wall. Okay, earlier in a video, we talked about how we only use 12 footers, basically because they're easier to pick up and stand up. This is our only exception. We are making it a 16 footer. This plate right here just makes it easier for us to just get all these holes right and not dealing with a splice. So this board is a 16-foot piece. This is the end of the wall. Now the top plate, we do have a splice. This is a 12-footer with a 42-inch piece. Basically because it's cheaper than 16. So we only had to buy two 16-footers, one for this apartment and one for that apartment. Okay. So I got the tape measure out. Once again, we're measuring 16 inches on center. So we just go back 3/4 of an inch, 15 1/4, line. Here we took our rapid square, marked on either side of the pipe so we could find the dimensions, then measured from our chalk line, which you can't see right now, to the center. And that's where we got right here, and all the way down. Okay. So the beautiful thing was 16 inches on center, only hit one pipe, which is this one right here. So we're just gonna move this stud over about 2 inches. The only thing we have to worry about hitting on this wall is drywall. So all I did was mark a line right here on the concrete, and I have it also underneath this board too. So that when our drywaller hangs the concrete, he can just look for that line, be like, okay, that's where that stud's at. That's the only one that's not 16 inches on center. So that's it in a nutshell, and let's get to work. Okay, here you guys have it. So obviously I wanted to check that bottom plate to make sure all of these fit. So as you can tell, this pipe is kind of going at an angle. So that's why that didn't quite work. So we had to just roto zip a little bit out of there. But yeah, now we're good to nail this together. All right, so we are doing 2x4 interior walls. Everything is 16 inches on center. So with a closet that has a 5-foot wide door, just like entry doors, we are making the rough opening 5 foot 2 inches. So from this cripple to this cripple is going to be 5 foot 2 inches. Also, just to clarify, exterior door, the cripple is not 82.5, it is 81, because you have the bottom plate underneath it. So, interior door, non-weight bearing, 82.5, load bearing, 81. All right, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but this little kind of looks like a hallway. This is just a line of closets. So right here is a linen closet within the hallway. This is a big closet for the bedroom. And then in the bathroom, this is another linen closet, okay? So what I want to talk about is this wall right here. So it's like half impossible to frame a wall out there and then bring it in here like a standard way. So what I did was I got a couple longer studs for a 9-foot wall, cut this to 92.5, nailed it at the bottom, leveled it with a level, tacked it up, repeat the process, 92.5, leveled it, tacked it, and then I just went and cut a board 21 inches, tacked it, 23.5, tacked it on top. So that board right there is actually the top plate, so it will be the same height as the top plate of those. It's a simple wall, just basically to divide this closet from that closet and something to nail drywall to. That is it in a nutshell. All right, you guys, we're gonna talk a little bit more about the odd closets. So we talked about, you know, a closet with a cripple. We cut out the bottom plate, make an 82.5 cripple, put it on top, tack, away we go. Okay. Now we have a couple closets that are a little funky. This is such a narrow closet. It is 24 inches wide, rough. And as you notice, we don't have, you know, any cripples down the side. Now, if we would have done cripples, this would have got narrower and narrower and narrower. But since we got enough sturdy stuff on each side, we're just going to nail the actual linen closet to this. So this is a rough opening of 24, so it's going to be a 22-inch door. And then what we did, since we don't have a cripple, we still need like a header. We just cut 10.25 inch pieces of 2x4, nailed them to the top plate down, and then we nailed this up. Okay, so we still have an opening that's 82.5 inches high, but without a cripple. So that's kind of like a little trick. Okay, I was kind of talking earlier how this washer dryer bifold closet's a little funky. It's about 60 inches wide. Like I said, we need a minimum of 58. Okay, so we're just gonna put the drywall right up against this, and then put our bifold frame right up against that drywall. So it's only gonna be about a 1/2 inch out, the width of the actual drywall. Nail the actual bifold frame to that. Once again, 10 1/4 inch cripple from the top. Nailed the header on. Now, this is kind of a funky door. So like I said, I have this bottom plate sticking out 3/4 inch. We're just gonna run a 1x4 tied up against here to get us to the width we need. So I just kind of want to talk about those doors. They're just a little bit odd, because if we would have done our standard way of putting in a cripple on each side, that would have made it narrower by 3 inches, making us not have that 58 inch minimum depth or width for a washer dryer. All right, keep watching. Hey, just wanted to show you guys, we just about are done framing our east duplex. We're just putting some backing for the drywall. I'll show you that, but I just wanted to show you, we got all our trusses in. So everything's still going on schedule. All right, so backing is just little scraps of 2x4. We're just throwing in there, preferably a little bit longer, but we're just using scraps. Make sure that the middle one is about 4 foot is right here, so you can tack the upper piece of drywall and the lower piece of drywall and have that seam really secure. So we're just going around to like where the drywall comes at an angle. So this piece of drywall had this 2x4 to screw to, but when this one came in, the last thing to hit was right here. So we need something to secure that last 5 inches of drywall. So we're just going around the duplex, looking at where we need to throw that. Hey everybody, we pretty much have one of the duplexes completely framed out. We have the top plate on it and everything ready to go. We have the trusses here. So now we're just gonna bust it and see how quick we can get the second duplex framed in so we can get the trusses up and running. I just want to re-explain top plate a little bit. So it is kind of like a puzzle. We talked about the top plate on the exterior wall, which we did in the last video. But as you can see, I could have ran a 2x6 all the way from where I cut out that plate. I don't know if you can see that. I could have ran this all the way, but that wouldn't be very beneficial. So as we can see right here, we wanted to overlap with this 2x4. So this all locks. Then from here to the exterior, I'll run a 2x6. This goes to here, I stop. This 2x4 will run from here all the way across, tying that junction. And we'll just keep on staggering it. So it's kind of like a puzzle. It's not just throwing the top plate on as fast as you can. All right, you guys, we have got the second duplex completely done. We got the top plate all on, completely ready for trusses. The one thing I forgot to talk about as far as our framing is we made a little pantry. This is gonna be fridge cabinets for the kitchen. So if you're wondering what this little guy is, small little pantry. It's gonna have nice little oak doors. So that's not a little closet, really, too small of a door. The other thing I want to talk about is I forgot to mention, after we got the exterior walls framed, we triple checked the measurements of the windows and we got those ordered. They can take up to 4 to 6 weeks for those windows to be made because they're all custom made. So make sure you're on the ball with getting those windows ordered so you're not sitting waiting. Okay guys, I was talking to my buddy who's gonna be hanging the trusses, and we got a lot of bracing up, but he wants a couple pieces on each corner of OSB nailed up pretty securely, just to make sure these walls are solid. I don't have enough time to get this all braced, and as you can see, we actually have actual braces in place, so we can only get so much on. But if we just get all these corners sheeted, it's going to put a lot more structural integrity. So since these walls are truly 8 foot complete from top to bottom, we can go horizontally when you're doing a slab. If you have floor joists, which are another like 12 inches or something, 16, usually you have to run horizontally, because then at the top you'll have another 12 inches to rip. But this, straight up and down, what we do is we just nail a nail right between the plate and the concrete, and that'll hold that piece of OSB in place till you get it tacked in. This is 15-30 seconds, which is almost a half inch. A half inch would be 16-30 seconds, I guess. So it is 1/16 less, but it makes all the difference in weight. When you do the roof, you do 19-30 seconds, which is basically 5/8. You're also probably wondering, we are pretty close to grade here, and I know that's not very much distance. This is gonna settle. First of all, this is pretty fresh, so this will go down a couple inches. And then when we have a rainy day, I'm gonna bend a bunch of pieces of metal that go the half inch to cover up this piece of the OSB. So a piece of metal that goes this high and a half inch in, so that even when water does splash down, bounce up, this is always gonna be protected. And then we'll run a bead of exterior caulk where that piece of aluminum is bent back and taps into that concrete, just so there is a unpenetrable spot for the water to not get in. So if anyone was wondering, about that, we will address that later on. Hey guys, I also want to talk about the importance of 16 inches on center. In our episode 6, something about that, about framing exterior walls, how we were so particular about 16 inch on center. So when we pull that from the corner, see those lines? They match up perfectly. And all those nails are hitting the stud on the inside. Hey everybody, that is our wrap for this Wednesday, and actually for the week. Like I said, pretty much just do this one day a week. Sometimes I get in here during my lunch, but school's starting for the kids, so my time's gonna be kind of sucked a little bit more. So one day a week. We got all the corners OSB'd just to give this duplex a little bit more structural integrity while the trusses get ran. Probably next Wednesday, I'll probably just continue sheeting and get this thing completely covered, get some Tyvek on it so it's waterproof, and then we'll start getting that little metal piece I was talking about earlier to cover the bottom edge. So keep watching, stay tuned, like and subscribe.